In iteration 4, we want to allow the user to browse the different codes. Notice here what we were able to do, which is great. We now have a list of code. We generate a random item from the list and we display it every time the app opens. But if I want to see another one, I have to close the app and open it again. So I want to add here a button where the user can click on that button and then it circles, not circles, but it generates another random code, and every time you click it generates a different code. So we'll add a button and then connect that button to a function in our controller. So to start, let's start with the user interface. So here's our user interface and I have a label component. So let me bring in the utility area, and in the utility area there is the button component, and the button component is a member of the UIButton. And to add the button component, I just drag it the same way I did with the label. So here is the button and you can resize it and place it the way, align its layout, go to the properties. So here is the title of the button. I'm going to call browse, or you can call it next, or anything you want. You can change the font, you can change the text color to, yeah, this is not really nice. So maybe we'll change it to this color. You can also use an image if you want. Here's, you can, if you add an image to your project, you can connect that image from here. And the button, you can click on a button and you can have a connection with the button. So I want to connect to that button with a function. So the button has the ability to create an event, a custom event. A custom event meaning now the user can notify the app that it is time. Time for what? Now that's what we need to define. But the button allows the user to tell the app it's time. And then we connect the button to a function that responds to that event. So to connect the button, we'll do something similar to what we did when we connected the label. Bring in the assistant editor, and I need some space here so we can see it. And since I'm going to be creating another custom function, let me fold those functions so you can see it clearly. So now my class has two instance objects or variables or instances of library classes. It has two functions that are inherited from the parent UI view controller, and it has a custom function that we created. Now we're adding another function that connects to the button event. So control, select the button, control, drag from the button to anywhere in the class. And then in the connection, you can see there are three types: outlet and action. And then the outlet collection. We'll talk about the outlet collection in project 4, the music learning. The outlet is what we did with the label, and you use that every time you want to manipulate the data of the component. But the action, that's when you want to connect an actual event. So if I select the action, you see here it added the event item, and then there's the touch up inside event, which represents the click event, and there are other events as well that you can explore and investigate. Then the argument. Do you want to have an argument, meaning that do you want the operating system, when it captures the event, to send you a reference to the object of the event, or a reference to the object of the event, which is the sender, what is called here sender, which will be the button in this case, and information about the event itself, like the time and stuff like that? I'm not going to be doing anything with it, so I'm just going to say none and name the function. So in this function, we'll say browse quotes and then connect. So now notice, similar to my function, here is the function keyword, the function name, the parameter list, which is nothing. The function is not returning anything, and then the body of the function. The difference between this function and the one I created is this interface builder action injection here that indicates this is connected to a component on the interface builder. So what do I want to do in this function? I'm basically want to display a quote. So I call the display quote function. That's it. That's the only instruction, because all the instruction to display a quote is already written in the display quote function. So it doesn't make sense for me to duplicate the effort and retype all of this here again. The purpose of a function is to allow you to write the code once, but use it multiple times by referencing or calling that function. So now let's run. Oh, it's already running. So first it compiles the Swift source files and bring them all together. And we are waiting for the simulator to load the app. So here is the app, then browse. So you get another one, and then browse, you get another one. So let's see if this is really random. So let's bring in the file, and so this is if you do what, that's the third one. Then here is the first one. So you can see it's just going through them differently. And I have only 4 or 5, so they're going to be repeating multiple times. But here is what the browser does. It allows you to go through the quotes one after the other. If you have more quotes here, it's not going to repeat that often as it is in here. So that concludes this app, this project. And